I'm Kieran Thompson for Untouched Sounds. This episode we interviewed Calgary singer-songwriter Samantha Savage-Smith. She's just released her debut LP, Tough Cookie. We chatted with her about how she got started, her songwriting, and why some audience members are surrendering themselves to her voice. When people have described your music, they say, when listening to it for the first time, they've said, surrender to your voice.
Yeah, I've heard that.
When did you start singing?
I started singing when I was a kid. I learned jazz songs, and that's how I started singing. So I was probably about 10 or 11.
Was it something you always wanted to do, or maybe was there like your folks or maybe another family member?
No, I mean, it was just something I wanted to do at the time. I honestly didn't at any point really think of it doing it full time or making a career out of it. And then just writing songs and playing guitar and singing, just kind of. And now, yeah, I have a record out. I did not expect to have it distributed to that scale. I mean, we were looking for distribution because I'm on a label, a small label in Calgary, Western Famine. And, we've just been working at it. We released the album in, Alberta, and it's, at Calgary, Edmonton, just some of the small record stores that are there, and just gave them some discs. But next thing you know, Arts and Crafts are like, yeah, we'll distribute. And it's like, okay, really? Awesome. Like, didn't expect that. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy thing. Like, just then, at midnight on the release, I immediately went on iTunes and then I cracked a beer. I was like, yes, I'm on iTunes. This is so cool. I lived in Vancouver for a little while, and I didn't play music there, really. I just kind of started dabbling in it again, kind of by the end before I left. And it's funny because I moved back to Calgary, and I didn't have a job or anything, and just, kind of all this stuff happened, and moving back home, and then all of a sudden it's just I had, all of this inspiration to write songs all of a sudden, and I wrote, a whole record.
The comparisons have started to come in, and some of them have, such prestigious names as Cat Power or Feist. I mean,
Yeah.
when you hear stuff like that, one, how does it make you feel? And two, I mean, how does it, how do you kind of live with that, or strive to make something, create a new piece of music?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think comparisons it happens to anyone, any band. I wasn't particularly trying to have it sound a certain way, or, it was just, I didn't labor over that. That's what happened naturally. I sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I could see that. There's other times I'm compared to other artists and I'm like, no. But it's just easy, and I do it to myself. It's just easy. Something will just remind you something slightly, and then it's like you go to that in your head because it's familiar, right? Yeah. When you're watching something that you've never seen before or heard, everyone just naturally goes to a familiar place in their head, right? And you're like, it's like that lady or something, right? Calgary's my home. It'll always be my home. I mean, whether I have to move somewhere else or be somewhere else, then that might end up happening one day, but it's where all my friends are, and it's where it all started, so it'll always be my home. Always. It's not my home.